Hello, everyone. I hope that I'm properly audible and visible to all of you. If you can just give me a confirmation, that would be great. Okay, I'm getting few responses. Thank you very much, everyone. Uh, yes, yes, thank you very much. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us. We'll be beginning this webinar in a minute or so. Let others also join. Okay, I think it's time, so let's get it started. Hello, everyone. Thank you once again, everyone, for joining today's webinar. It's a great day, and it's great to see all of your bright faces once again. You're back again this week for getting those new updates and trying those new updates as well, right? So in between, if you're coming across any doubts whatsoever regarding what I'm trying to explain, please write it down in the chat box. And also there's a Q&A option as well. You can also write your questions explicitly there. And if there is any doubts in between, you can also use the raise hand option. I'll be catering to your doubts once I have completed my explanation. All right. So I can see a bunch of people here, familiar faces as well. Uh, Good to see all of you. Hello. Hi, Atul. Yes. So EalSuite evolution, EC roles, bulk updates, payment series, and more. So we'll be discussing about a lot of things. So as always, we'll start with our release notes. We'll first of all explain the release notes, then we will go to individual feature updates and enhancements. So let's move to our release notes first. Yes. So today we'll be looking into what all features got released, which were the enhancements and some of the small bugs or resolved issues that we have updated on 7th of October. All right, so we'll be starting with easy assigning roles, introducing default standard roles for hassle-free user management. So we'll be speaking about users and roles there. Safeguard your item prices. So we are bought in something called the minimum sales price for items. So I'll be showing you how to set them. And while creating invoices or bills associated to those items, how those changes takes place. Then we have the records management update. So this is about bulk delete and bulk update, which we have introduced in terms of suppliers as well as for items. Then we have payment customization. Explore varied payment CDs right now for customers and suppliers separately. Let's talk about the enhancements. So we have few, great enhancements when it comes to reports this time around. So stock insight the glance. Check committed stock values easily in the current stock report. So here comes reports. Seamless previewing. Your preview page now reflects your template builder table choice. So we'll be looking into what all differences we can make in terms of template builder and how this gets reflected in the preview page of your bills. Then totaling made simple. Again, reports. So we'll be talking about easy viewing of payable and receivable aging reports. So what have we added there today? We'll be talking about footer totals. And then finally, fluid account navigation, enhanced account statement with an added filter to effortlessly navigate through all accounts. Then we'll be speaking about some small minor bugs that we have resolved with regards to item importing time. It's not a bug this time around. We have updated it basically, the date format. So we'll be looking into that. The full visibility on items, no more second guessing, previously set item expenses while editing. Unhindered sales report. So again, reports. So ensure flawless operation with item sales report, which is loading smoothly now in all scenarios. Then we have effortless expense management. Navigate through the expense list with ease. Self-data privileges issue has been resolved. So we'll be looking into all of these right now. I can see new people joining in. Hello, everyone. Good evening. Thank you very much for joining. We'll be speaking about the feature updates, enhancements, and resolved issues that we have updated on 7th of the month of October. So let's get started. Let's go to our software. Before that, let us first of all be specific with our first update. So we'll be starting with EC role assigning. So we have introduced default standard roles for hassle-free user management. So Where do this comes in? When do this comes in? That's the first question. Simplify user management. That's the first advantage, assigning default roles to users easily. Then streamline permissions, ensure consistent access control across the organization. Then we have efficient user onboarding, simplify the process of assigning roles to new users. So how can we execute this? Let me show it. Yes. So this is a new instance that, or a new workspace that we have created. And in order to show you this update, a newly created workspace is something which has been updated after 7th of October. This is required because in the existing workspace, we won't be providing this. In all the newly created workspace, if you navigate to users and roles, which comes under company setup, here under roles, you could see a few standard roles that we are providing right now. Like I told you, to all the newly created workspace which have been created after this update has been released. So those are accounts manager, purchase manager, and sales manager. So what is the advantage here? Let's think about this. Let's think about a situation. When you first time onboarding into a software, you will have, or it will be just a single person that will be the full administrator, somebody who's having the full administrator, privilege. Now, if he want to easily onboard an accounts manager, then what's the first thing that you will do? You'll have to go to roles, and then you'll have to create a new role, right? You'll have to provide permissions all along for all of these different modules that you will be working with, and then you will have to submit and save it, right? So just a second here. Then you will have to save it, right? That's a process. Right now, it's easy when it comes to an accounts manager, purchase manager, and a sales manager because these are fundamental rules which comes in an organization. So we have to be straightforward with that, and everything has to be convenient in terms of these rules. So let me repeat it once again. For all the newly created workspaces, which was created after 7th of the month of October, you will be getting such predefined roles. Now, if you want to edit this, it's possible. You can go to the manage section, and if you want to edit it, you can edit it. And if you submit it, this will get reflected in terms of the account manager role. So that's the first thing. That was the first update I had to talk about. And so we'll close it there. So that was all about easy role assigning. Now, the next update, safeguard your item prices. Set a base with minimum sales prices for items with freedom to adjust during catalog creation. So flexible pricing control, establish minimum prices to protect your profit margins. Then you have dynamic catalog management where you can adjust your prices during catalog creation. Now, whether this should get reflected or not, it's up to you to decide. Then we have price transparency all across the sales channel as well. So we'll be looking into how we can safeguard your item prices with the help of minimum sales price. So yeah, we'll go to this instance here. So we are right now in the dashboard of our software. So what can we do first? We'll try to create an item first of all. Just a second. So we'll create an item which will be a product itself. So we'll create it as a type, let it be. So we have the item number. We'll set the units as pieces. Let this be the tax, not going to add the HSN value or anything like that. I'm purchasing it for maybe like a 400 rupees. And then I'm anticipating, or I'm setting the selling rate as 600. And here I can enable the minimum sales price. So I enable the checkbox, then I can set the minimum sales price, 500. So there's another option, whether this has to be tax included or not. So in order to make this particular option clear, I'll first of all keep it as tax included, and we'll try to create and edit a few invoices so you can see how this change gets reflected. So yeah, nothing else. We'll submit it. So we have a new item that has been created called kite. Price of 400 and a sales price of 600 and a minimum sales price that I have set called 500. Now let's do one thing. We'll we'll create a we'll create an invoice. So while creating an invoice, okay, let the person customer be Jayarajan. Nothing else to add. Choosing the item kite. Just one quantity. There will be one quantity right now. The price is 600. No discounts given. We have the GST rate and the total. So tax is involved here. So what is the minimum sales price? I said it as 500. The value, even when tax is included, shouldn't go below 500. So if I make a discount of 100, imagine on a price of 600, I'm making a discount of 100. Okay, this could turn out to be in percentage. So in 100, the total will come around 590. Right? There shouldn't be any issues while saving this, right? There shouldn't be any issues because it directly gets saved. And I'm approving it. Yes, everything is done. It's in an unpaid status right now. There shouldn't be any issue because it is not below 590. And further editing. If I'm giving a discount of 200, what happens? It goes below 472, right? No. I'll just do something else before that. I'll just give a value of 110. Now, the price is 600, the discount is 110. So if we calculate it, for which price am I selling it? I'm not taking the tax into account. I'm just talking about the price alone. So that will be almost 490. And then on that particular amount, you're adding your 18% of tax, and it's like 578.2. But the price which I've said there, the minimum sales price, was 500. Right now we're talking about 490. Will this get saved? It should get saved because the total, including the GST, is 578. So again, no issues, right? There shouldn't be an issue. Now this is obvious to us. What should be the next step? I'm making a discount of 200, and it goes below 500. Tax included. You should be getting an error, a warning message. Not an error, a warning message. Kite, the price is less than the minimum sales price. So this is really good, right? You won't be able to sell it below that particular value. In this particular case, it's tax included. So one thing that you can notice here is I'm keeping that message there. The minimum sales price is not shown. So is it an advantage or a disadvantage in the perspective of the organization? It is an advantage, right? Because if the administrator or the manager has set a particular sales price, you don't want your salesperson to see that. Is a salesperson will be able to see it right now? He or she won't be able to see it. So that's another advantage, and that's a way in which we have defined this particular feature. Now, how to keep it like this? We won't be able to save it, so I'm keeping a particular value. It goes above 500. Everything is fine. What I can do is I can return back, and I'll just search for kite. And let me just show you what kind of a difference it is going to make if I'm not enabling the tax included box. Okay. Now it is not tax included, right? I'm returning back to the invoice. I'm editing the invoice. Will this get saved right now? No, it is not getting saved because 600 is the price and 150 is the discount I have given. The total price has not gone below the minimum sales price that we have set. I'm talking about the total value, not the price minus discount. The price minus discount is below 500. So if you want your salesperson not to sell the item, I'm not taking the tax rate into consideration. If you don't want your salesperson not to sell it in a value below 500, tax excluded, in that case, you can just disable. You don't have to enable the tax included box while creating the item. And so what should I do? It should at least be this much, because if I put 101 as the discount, it won't be getting saved. If I keep it as 100, it is getting saved. So because 600 minus 100, you'll get 500 as a minimum sales price. So even if the total price is above 500, you won't be able to save it because you have not enabled the tax included box. Yeah, I have disabled it. That is a thing. That is a specialty. I'm going to approve it right now. Now, there's another catch in here. The update is not done. The next thing we can do is, or the next question is, what happens while we are creating catalogs? While creating a catalog, what happens? So we have a new item catalog already created. So I'm not going to create a new catalog. Let me add the item here. So add line and right. So here it is. So on top here, you could see something. Override the minimum sales price. Do you want to override it? Yes. So the minimum sales price is 500, but there will be situations in which, on special situations in which you will have to sell that particular item to a customer below that. So in my mind, the amount is 420. So will I be able to do it? So there'll be a question. Will I be able to make a change here? Because I've already set the price, the minimum sales price as 500. Will I be able to change the catalog price and save it and keep it 420? Override minimum sales price. I'm not overriding it. So will I be able to save it? I will be able to save it. That won't be an issue. But if it's not overrided here, I'm going to keep it override right now. So the relationship has been broken if I enable this. So I'm clicking on save and new item catalog. Let's go to a customer, and in the customers list, Jayarajan, I'll edit and I'll say new item catalog as this catalog, and I'm going to create a new invoice. At that point, yes, Jayarajan, right. So it's 420 right now. So the catalog feature is working properly, and here we are. And the question is 495.6. Even if that doesn't happen, you will be able to save it because we have enabled the override feature here. See, we have enabled it. Now, if I disable this and I save it, I'm returning back to the same invoice itself, and we'll be editing it right now. And I click on save. No, it won't get saved because right now there's a relationship here. If you have not enabled the override minimum sales price. So I hope that you get the point here. It's a very wonderful update. A lot of things to consider here. And there's a proper correlation between the catalog and the minimum sales price and how we can run with it. A very interesting feature, I would say. Right. So that was all about how to set the minimum sales price. And when it comes to catalog creation, how this is going to get changed. And also how tax is involved in this particular situation. All right. So that was, I'm going to leave it there. That is all about the safeguard your item prices. We can move along. So that took some time, right, to explain it away. I was really excited about explaining that also. The next update, records management update. Gain control with the ability to delete items as well as bulk delete and update suppliers in EalSuite in the smart view. So effortless data management, you can delete the unwanted items and update your supplier information very easily. Save time and effort with bulk delete and update functionalities. And also you can ensure data integrity by removing irrelevant or outdated records. That's one thing. So we'll again go to our software. Yes. So let's first of all look into the suppliers section and see how the deletion and the update works there. If you go to the supplier section, we have plenty of suppliers here. The deletion part is much straightforward because we have already introduced the same thing to customers earlier, and we saw that if any of the suppliers are associated with any of the bills or expenses or anything like that, then what happens? You won't be able to delete them. So I'm selecting all these suppliers here, and at the top you have the options to bulk delete them. See, can't delete all of these people. So 9876. Then we have 4 is not. I think 4 is not. 5 is not present at all. 3, 2, 1. So I think none of these people can be deleted because there's a dependency found in purchasable or with regards to journal. So can't delete 8, you will be able to delete one person, whoever that may be. I think rhythm notes is, yes, rhythm notes is that particular supplier. So we delete it and one record was deleted. So it's just a very straightforward thing. And while updating a supplier also, if you want to update a particular field, like, see, I want to update Rhythm and Codes Corporation and Harmony Haven Limited's country from India to United States, I can simply bulk update it, select it. So country United States, submit. So Rhythm and Codes Corporation and Harmony Haven Limited, their country has been updated to United States. So this is all about suppliers. Now, when it comes to inventory, inventory also we have a bunch of items right now. And when you go to options, we have the bulk update and the bulk delete option also. So we'll try to bulk delete. None of the items can be deleted here. So we'll do one thing. I'll just create a new item and I'll show you. Again, let me show you the box. What's a detail being shown here? Dependency found with regards to invoice, a lead quotation, a credit note, a sales order, or anything like that. So if dependencies are found, you won't be able to delete it. Whether that be a customer, whether that be a supplier, whether that be an item, this is okay. Same hold throughout the software. So we'll create a new item. We'll keep it as jam. Again, pieces, nothing else required here. We'll go to inventory and name jam. Now, it is not only bulk delete, here also you have the delete option for items. You click on delete and it's gone, it's vanished. So another very beautiful update, right? So yes, so it's a very simple thing. We have extended what we can do from customers right now to suppliers and to items as well. And we'll be doing the same into more modules, and that's good. So we'll stop it there and we'll move forward to our next update. Payment customization. Explore the varied payment series for customer and supplier payments. Now it's separated. Tailored payment option. Configure payment series to suit specific customer and supplier needs. Optimize cash flow by defining payment terms for different payment series. And you can offer flexible payment options to enhance customer experience as well. So how this is possible? Let's see. Yes. Now here, how can I go over that? I can navigate into the series manager. Series manager will be coming under general preferences. Here, if you take a look, right now we have customer payment as well as supplier payment. So going into the types, and if you want to search for it, we can look for customer payment right here and supplier payment as well. Now, how to create a new series? You can go to this add series option. You have the customer payment, or if you want the supplier payment, it's going to be in a separate manner. You can add the prefix and you can add the suffix as usual. Click on submit, and a new series will be created. So that's a new update. So it's very convenient for us right now because before the update, it was just a payment series for both of them. It was the same. Right now, we have them separated. All right. So that was the last feature update. Now we'll be moving into our enhancements part. And let's see what our first enhancement is. Stock insight at a glance. Check the committed stock values easily in the current stock report. So we'll be moving into the current stock report and we'll be looking into the committed stock, whether it will be available or not. But the advantage is real-time stock visibility, quick decision making, and efficient inventory management. So rather than using this particular instance, I believe I will be able to show it better. In this particular one. So let's go to the report section. And at the very bottom, you will be able to see the inventory. So we have a bunch of reports that we'll be discussing whole throughout. And we have the item sales, item purchases, item wise profit. Then we have the committed stock report. Then we'll be looking into the committed stock report. Then we have the stock summary, stock movement, so and so, and we have the current stock, right? So let's do one thing. We'll look back into the enhancement. Stock insight at a glance. So what's the advantage that we're talking about? That's the first thing. Check the committed stock values easily in the current stock report. So if you move forward into the current stock report, see which are the columns here. Item code, the other item, the units, the available stock, the committed stock, the project stock, the unassociated stock. We'll sort it and see cement. The available stock is 200, but 100 is already committed here. We already have a committed stock report. And in this one, let it be this physical order by, we'll sort it order date itself. And yes, so here also we have all the different committed stocks or committed items like this, to which all customers it is, the quantity that we are talking about, and the reference to the sales order. But when it comes to current stock itself, you will be able to get an informed, or you will be able to make an informed decision by looking into this particular report. That's the advantage. So you look at the committed stock and you only have 100 available to sell in the future days because 100 is already committed. So if when it comes to manufacturing a particular item or a product and all, you can make informed decision by looking into this particular report itself. So that was the first enhancement. Next, seamless previewing. Your preview page now reflects your template builder table choices, ensuring consistency. So this has to be, we have to be really careful with this one. We're talking about the template builder and the preview page. Accurate previewing. See how your template choices impact the final output. Ensure that your table looks consistent throughout the document. It's not only in the view page, also after in the build preview section as well. And finally, make changes to templates with confidence, knowing how they will appear. So let's move. Yes. So here, let's first of all kind of explore the template builder V2, because if you navigate to the other preference section under setting, you will be able to find the template builder. So we have a bunch of templates for different bills created here. And we'll go to a custom invoice page. And for custom invoices, let's go to the table section. And you see the table design is 4 and all the selected columns is present here. Additional properties, none of them are enabled right now, but let us keep it like this itself. That won't be an issue. This one comes under, the custom invoice comes under invoices, right? Now, there was an update a few weeks back, and that was whatever format that you were following or that you have set under your whichever template that you have created, whether it be a custom one that you have created or a default one that you have already edited, whichever it may be, that the same format will be followed when you are looking into an invoice page. See, in an invoice page, if I'm keeping it as custom invoice as a default one, yes, this will be the view. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 fields. This will be the default view, right? You will be having. Now, what happens if I go to the share option and if I share it, what happens? Or the next question is, or the enhancement that we have made here is, what happens when I click on the preview bill? When I click on the preview bill, see what you just saw here gets reflected here. But is that the correlation that we're talking about? No. The enhancement in reality is that whatever format in which you have set your template builder, the same gets reflected in the preview page as the preview bill as well. So right now, think about this. We had the template builder. First, we brought in the update to see it in the PDF format, then into the build view format, then in the preview bill format. So we have made it one by one by one. So that is a thing. That is a new enhancement that we have. So in the preview bill, whatever format that you have set in the template builder will be getting reflected. Initially, it was in a default format for all the different bills that we have. Right now, it has changed. Okay, so that was another enhancement. Next, totaling made easy. So easily view your finance financial standing with footer totals in the payable and the receivable in report. So what's your advantage? Get a summary of outstanding payable and receivable at a glance. Effortlessly reconcile accounts with clear footer tables or totals, and generate reports with accurate totals for better financial analysis. So we will take a look into that also. Here, we'll be going to the reports. We'll be looking into a receivable aging report first of all. And initially, you see the footer here. This one was not present. Initially, what was being shown by this particular report? It was showing how much was the aging for each customer, right? So let me just take you back here. In the payable and receivable aging report, initially, it was not about the footer. It was just about showing you how much each and every customer uh, was spending to pay you, or how much as an organization that you were pending to pay to a supplier, to an individual supplier. But organization wide, you need to get a report that how much you owe to a supplier and how much the whole set of customers owe you. And that value or that total can now be obtained from the aging reports with regards to suppliers as well as with regards to customers. We'll just go back and we'll go to the supplier section as well, the payable aging report. Here also you can see it, the footer that has been introduced. All right. Next, the final enhancement. Fluid account navigation. Enhanced account statement with an added filter to effortlessly navigate through all accounts. Access all accounts quickly using the new filter option. Navigate through accounts effortlessly with the added functionality and filter accounts based on specific criteria for an in-depth analysis. So we'll again go to our software and look at the report. We'll go to the report section and we have the account statement here. Now, what was the specialty? Initially, we had all these bank accounts, but while filtering, it was just like filtering with individual banks. There was no option like all accounts. Right now, you can filter with all accounts. It's a very simple enhancement that we have bought it, but it's another very important thing as well. So for all the different accounts here, see HDFC Bank, HNCB Bank, Petty Cash, and Jane Bank, Axis Bank, everything has been shown under a single filter itself. So that was the update. So I'll be closing it. Now, few resolved issues. We'll be going through this very quickly. The first one, smooth item import. Bid farewell to date-related issues during item import. So what I want to say is that while item being imported, the specialities, I'll just show it to you like this. The basic date format that we follow in EalSuite is this one. We have the day, dd/mm/YYYY. So we have the day, the month, and the year. This is the basic format that we follow. Initially, while uploading all those item details, if you the date field, which will be a custom field, but if there was any field created where the field type was date, then you had to follow an entirely different format, not this particular format that you see. But moving forward from the last update onwards, if you're importing items, for all you new people out there, you only have to follow this particular format. That is a specialty. That is an enhancement, really, not a resolved issue or anything like that. So yeah, that's the first one. Next one, full visibility on items. No more second guessing. You previously set item expenses while editing. Yeah, I'll show it to you like this. While creating a new item, what all you can do. So while creating a new item, we'll create an item called leave it, and we'll set the unit and everything. Here, you had an option to set item expenses, right? So while setting an item expense, you can choose an account, choose the category, the item expense 100, and auto create no. Let me submit it. When you go to the edit page, you will be able to see it, right? But before there was a small but. Not everyone, you won't be able to see it like this. You won't be able to see this. It was just in a default manner, just like this. So that has been fixed right now because you saw it. So I'm submitting it. Yeah, it's a very small bug that we had. The next one, unhindered sales report. Ensure flawless operation with item sales report now loading smoothly at all scenarios. This also was not a huge thing when there was some. We'll go to item sales report and we'll look into it. So here, when there was some unassociated items and all, it was not properly getting loaded for everyone. That was a small issue. So that has been fixed right now for different salesperson, also for different branches, for different physical or anything like that. There is no data. Perhaps that's a thing for all salesperson. We fix it like this for all branches. There is no issue with this particular report being loaded. And the final resolved issue, effortless expense management. Navigate through the expense list with ease. Self-data privilege issue has been resolved. This was something unique. When it comes to the expense side, based on your permission, if you go to transaction expenses, you will only be able to see the list of expenses based on your permission. And if you were given the self-data permission, if that was enabled, you won't be able to see the expenses created by someone else. It was just you. But that was not the case. You were able to see the expenses created by the other person also. But once you go into this and if you selected this, then the data thing was being shown that you won't be able to see the data because of your, permission issues. But the list was shown. Right now, the list will be shown to me because I'm using the full administrator privilege. But if self data is enabled, you won't be able to see that. I will only be able to see the expenses that I've created. That was not the case. Right now, it's resolved. So yes, that was the final thing as well. So we'll go back into our first update and just brief everything once again, and then I'll be taking up the questions. So easy role assigning, like I told you, for all the new workspaces created after this update, you will be getting some predefined roles like accounts manager, purchase manager, and sales manager. And what you can do with it, if you want, the convenience is that you will be able to easily onboard people who has this permission. It doesn't take time while creating a new particular profile or a user and so and so. It's very convenient, very easy, and it can be done very quickly as well. So that's the first thing. Now, and if you want to edit the existing roles, the default roles also, you'll be able to do that. The next one, safeguard your item prices. So we saw how minimum sales price can be set while creating items, and whether it can be tax included and excluded. And we went through different invoice creation, different scenarios of invoice creation. And we also looked how this gets translated to while we are creating a catalog also, how we can override the minimum sales price set there and how that change can get reflected while you're creating the invoice. The next one is the records management update. We have introduced the bulk delete and bulk update for suppliers as well as for items as well. And then we have right now separated the payment series for customers and supplier payments. Stock insight, and you will be able to easily look into committed stock values in the current stock report itself, and you can make an informed decision based on that. Then, whatever format that you have set in your template builder for individual bills, you will be able to see or preview the bill in the same format itself. Then, when it comes to payable and receivable aging reports, when it comes to suppliers and customers, organization-wide, you will be able to see how much the customer, you owe the customer, and the customer owes you, and you owe the supplier. And then enhanced account statement. If you go to the account statement, the all account filter has been added, so you will be able to go through a filter or a view in which all the details of all different accounts or bank accounts will be presented. Then we talked about the resolved issues as well, the date, format related to item import, then item expenses, then the sales report or the item sales report loading part, and finally with respect to data privileges and expense list. All right. So that's it from my side. Now it's time for you to ask your questions. The Q&A section and the chat section is open. You'll be able to ask your questions there. Yes, I have a question here. Okay, let me read that question. First of all, this update's only applicable for the new workspaces. No, let me be specific. The first one, the roles that the default roles that will be present to you, that particular update is only applicable to the new workspaces created. All the rest is applicable to all the workspaces that we have, or to all the clients and customers using EalSuite. Yes. Yes, the series manager is applicable. You will be able to share the series for different branches also. For customer payment and for supplier payment, you will be able to share those series to different branches if you are having. Yes. Okay, let me speak about self-data. If while creating a new profile, a new user, if you have enabled the self-data privilege, if a full administrator have enabled it, then he or she who has a self-data privilege enabled or the permission enabled will only be able to see the bills, the entities that have been created by that person. He or she won't be able to see the things created by the other person, or edited, or manipulated, or anything like that. Yes. Thank you very much for your questions as well. Is there anything else you want to ask me? Not seeing any more questions then. So I think it's time to wind up. Yes. So everyone, once again, thank you very much for joining. We'll meet again in 2 weeks' time with our new updates. So please use EalSuite to the maximum. And if there's any more doubts, we have a dedicated support team. As you know, you'll be able to connect with them and ask your queries there, and you'll be able to get them resolved. So thank you very much, everyone. Bye bye. We'll meet again in 2 weeks' time. Bye.